You want to have some fun?
Yes.
Okay. So while I was away,
Okay.
I imagined this idea to talk about the people who influence Donald Trump's decisions. So
Okay.
like so much of what we're doing right now is talking about how tariffs are going to impact Canada. And if you go down the rabbit hole, you're going to watch guys like Howard Lutnick talk. And you're going to see Scott Bessent speak. You're going to watch Peter Navarro. You're going to see, Kevin Haslett. Like there are so many characters swirling around Donald Trump. Initially, I planned on doing a graphic with like Donald Trump's head in the middle and then like a bunch of these heads circling him.
Like a universe.
Yeah. But like listening to who he's actually taking advice from. And then I figured I would just go with like a little bit more of a kind of one by one. Let's go through who these characters are.
Okay.
To help you maybe understand a little bit, help everyone understand. Even at me, it helped me understand a little bit, like where is all this coming from? So like before Donald Trump came into office, there was like a Republican playbook created called Project 2025.
Okay.
In that playbook, there's a lot of scary, weird stuff, but there's a conversation about tariffs.
Right.
And that the architect of that is a guy named Peter Navarro.
I'm curious about what the scary, weird stuff is, but maybe I'll just read it later.
Yeah, like you're seeing some of it, right? Like they're getting rid of the Department of Education.
Right.
But like just the diversity and inclusion stuff, like they really go far into that.
Yeah,
like there's just a lot of stuff that like
weird. It's a bit weird.
Yeah. JD Vance, like very involved in some of the weird stuff.
Right.
Anyways, purpose here is to talk a little bit about the tariffs.
Right.
Peter Navarro is the guy behind the tariffs. He was just in a piece, like he just had an exchange with a BBC reporter or Sky News reporter. Why don't I show you that first?
Yes.
Okay. Can you show me that Peter Navarro clip, the news.sky.com?
Stop with the rhetoric, okay? Just stop that crap. The policy is no exemptions, no exclusions, and that will change if the president changes his policy, but there's a very good reason why no exemptions, no exclusions exist as a policy. It's because when we were kind enough as a country to make those kind of gestures to our friends, they bit the hand that fed them, and that's not going to happen again.
But the president seems to be changing his mind by the hour at the moment.
You gotta move out of the way. So
What are your views on the fact that
you don't understand what a negotiation looks like. The president is negotiating strategically, so stop with the rhetoric, okay? Just stop that crap.
But he does seem to be changing his mind all the time.
Stop that crap.
But is that part of it?
Sir, where are you from?
From Sky News, UK.
Yeah.
May I ask you?
Yeah, Mr. Navarro. But why is that? Why is that? It's a fact that he's changing his mind every single day.
It's a negotiation, my friend.
Right. So he doesn't mean it. So it's all part of a negotiation. And it's causing havoc to the stock markets.
It's not causing.
Okay. Let's start our slideshow. Let's put Peter Navarro up first.
Okay.
We haven't used this TV in so long.
I know. I'm kind of excited.
So Peter Navarro. Okay. So Peter Navarro, the guy we just watched, getting flustered by a Sky News reporter who was questioning him on the tariffs.
Yeah.
Went to jail.
For what?
So they said he defied a congressional subpoena, but basically he wasn't cooperating with the investigation of the January 6th Capitol raid or
Yeah.
So
something tells me that this guy didn't have that bad of a time in jail.
He went to like a detention for old. He's 75 years old, right? He went to like a detention center with not a lot of people in it, but still went to jail.
Yep.
And is a full supporter of Donald Trump.
Right.
And is a big architect behind this Project 2025 book.
Right.
He seems to me like, a piece of garbage.
Yeah. For sure. You can see it in his eyes.
Yeah. But it is important to note that in this whole Project 2025 game plan, they don't really talk a lot about what happens if reciprocal tariffs are placed on the United States from other parties.
Right. They just think they'll cower, maybe?
Yes. And because they're not accounting for that, they're getting flustered.
Right.
Right? If the world places reciprocal tariffs on the United States, that could be extremely bad for the American economy. Extremely, extremely bad for the American economy. They have not even contemplated it because they are a massive superpower with massive power.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, they sometimes have blind spots.
Right.
And if this is the architect behind Project 2025's tariff policy, and there's probably a few blind spots.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree. Agree.
The next guy.
Can I ask you first before we carry on? What's his background? Like, what does he do?
Like Harvard educated economist.
Right.
Like he's been in the game a long time.
It's not his first rodeo.
No. And he's, found Trump and he found Trump's ear and Trump listens to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a very, very powerful position. The other thing about Trump is, though, if things go the wrong way, he will look to the people around him and he'll start getting rid of them. He did it in his first term. So anyways.
Send him down the river, as my friend said. We were talking about Elon yesterday. All right, next.
Peter Navarro. The next guy is Scott Bessent.
Okay.
Okay, so have you seen this guy speak?
No.
Oh, my God. It looks like he's just like a robot. Very, very intelligent guy. Very successful guy. Another one of the billionaires in the Trump circle.
Yeah.
Navarro's not a billionaire. He's just like
a guy.
He's like an assassin. Really.
Yeah,
he would do anything for Trump and anything to further his policies. Scott Bessent is someone that Trump listens to. It's weird. And it's another kind of weird relationship. So Scott Bessent made his money working for George Soros.
Okay.
He's a billionaire hedge fund guy.
Yeah.
Soros funded him to start his hedge fund. He's also gay.
Oh, interesting.
2 children by surrogate.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I know, because he's like.
Yeah.
Like the rest of if they're handing Project 2025 out, and he's at the table like, Scott, you just ignore pages 1 through 1,000.
Yeah.
And we just want you to focus on the tariff stuff.
Yeah.
Don't look at any of the gay stuff.
Yeah. Don't worry about any of that.
Yeah.
Any of that inclusion business.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
But again, their policies, when they're questioned on what happens when the other countries start imposing tariffs on the United States, the responses aren't strong.
Right.
Because they're not really that contemplated. They start just focusing on, it's a negotiation. We're using it as a tool.
Yeah. I feel like the not thinking that far ahead thing doesn't make sense to me because any normal person would think that maybe that would happen. It's almost like the work of like a narcissist or something like that. Like, or like, you know what I mean? Like they think like no one's ever going to talk back to us. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting.
Well, I think like Trump probably had a bunch of these guys that he listens to in a room.
Right.
Or in lots of rooms. Yeah. And they said, listen, like if we can pull this off, it will be, it will make America great
again. Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay, great. And maybe someone in the room was like, well, what happens if,
and they're like, shh.
And they were probably like, don't worry, Mr. President, you're such a great negotiator that like no one's going to question you and everyone's going to see how tough you are and no one's going to combat this.
Yeah.
And he was probably like, I'm willing to take that risk. Like I can handle that.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, I can handle the rest of these world leaders.
Yeah.
I'll have them eating out of the palm of my hand. And for the most part right now, they are eating out of the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scott Bessent. The next guy you'll see a lot of, Kevin Hassett. I just like this. Yeah, like their faces.
Look at that face.
Yeah, like. And I didn't try to find weird pictures of these people, right? So this guy, Kevin Hassett, has always been kind of circling around the political ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was at Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
He was involved in Trump's first term.
Okay.
He published a book about the Dow hitting 36,000 just before the dot-com burst.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, he's not the most... he doesn't have the perfect track record.
Right. Yeah.
And he shows up on CNBC all the time. He's got this big goofy smile, and
He does look a bit funny.
yeah. But again, someone that Trump listens to.
Right.
Was involved in Trump's first term on his Council of Economic Advisors, an economist, and again, firmly towing the Trump line of tariffs. But not, I would argue that doesn't influence things as much as Navarro and Bessent.
You can kind of tell by his face too, you know? Like if I had to hang out with one of them so far, it would be this guy.
Yeah. Well, Trump says that he really likes the way Bessent looks. That's a big thing for Trump, right? He likes the way people look. Right. If he likes the way they look, then he brings them in. Right. Anyways, Scott Bessent, Trump listens to him, and he's really towing the kind of company line. Mm-hmm. The next guy is an even bigger character.
Okay.
And now we're veering into people that Trump maybe doesn't listen to as much,
but still has around him, and
they listen to Trump and they toe the line. Larry Kudlow.
Okay.
Larry Kudlow is a TV reporter.
Okay.
Was a TV reporter.
Okay.
Then was involved in Trump's first administration. Now, not involved in the second administration. He's just like on Fox News.
Right.
Larry Kudlow, because we have so much footage of him speaking, because he's a news anchor, there's irrefutable evidence that he's a piece of garbage.
Right.
Irrefutable. For instance.
Confirmed.
For instance, after the devastating earthquake and tsunami in Japan, Larry Kudlow commented that I have the quote. He says, "The human toll here looks to be much worse than the economic toll, because the market didn't fall in the United States as much as was expected. And we can all be very grateful for that."
Piece of garbage. Check mark. Piece of garbage. Yeah.
The guy should be in jail.
We should have like this stamp that comes down over the thing going piece of garbage.
Yeah. His comment more recently, when he was questioned as to why Trump has so many billionaires around him, and isn't that bad for democracy and kleptocracy?
Right.
His comment was, why shouldn't the president surround himself with successful people? Wealthy folks have no need to steal or engage in corruption.
Nice. Yeah.
Of course. Honestly, I think that's extremely insightful.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with it is all of the insurmountable historical evidence of rich people involving themselves in government just to steal.
Yeah.
But maybe Larry Kudlow,
he's different from the rest.
Ultimate human garbage.
Yeah. Is different.
Yeah. Okay.
Is different.
And then there's another guy, Stephen Moore, who's like another Fox News pseudo-economist, bullshit artist.
Weird eyes.
That falls into the camp of people that, like, this is now on the fringe. So now we're getting into people that Trump doesn't really listen to, but they listen to Trump.
Right. But are around him.
Yeah. But it's just like another one of these economic advisors that's in there toiling away with Trump.
Right.
The last guy, I mentioned him in one of our earlier podcasts. Please pull up for me Howard Lutnick. I can't believe that we're negotiating with this guy. So Howard Lutnick.
This is like the guy.
Yes. Well, he is Trump's court jester.
Yeah.
I will make a call that this guy is not in his position 6 months from now.
Right.
He's
going to be sent down the river.
Yeah. He's just dancing for Trump now.
Yeah.
He's like mini Trump. He gets out there and he's like, well, the president, you don't understand. The president knows everything. The president is the smartest guy in every room. I've known the president for a long time. He is just like, please, Mr. Trump, Please throw me some scraps from your table because all I care about is enriching myself.
Right.
And I will say whatever I need to say in order to ingratiate myself to you. He is a sycophant, and he has no opinions of his own. He takes them all from Donald Trump, and he's doing them because he has sold his soul in order to be a part of this administration.
Right.
He was a part of he was the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald.
Okay.
And he has kind of relinquished all of his roles now in order to take this position. And he is who I hope that the Canadian government don't think that he's actually making any decisions. But
Right.
he is who Doug Ford went and spoke.
Yeah,
to.
that's who. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
There's the circle.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's some billionaires behind the scenes
For
that
sure.
are like
The serpents as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what we're dealing with.
The reptilians, I meant. Yeah. This was great. I had a lot of fun with this. Peter Navarro, though, worst face of them all, for sure.
You think so?
Well, when you pulled it up, the first thing I thought to myself was, God, that guy has no fun. You know what I mean? Just like no fun, zero fun.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Thank you for watching. Let's see how well the YouTube algorithm scores this one.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Now that all the tech bros are on Trump's side, this one might not even see the light of day. You may not see another podcast from us after this one goes up.
We'll be dead.
But in the meantime, have a great time. Bye.
Bye.